Hey y'all. So, in this episode, we're diving into how the environment you grew up in sets the tone for what you tolerate, chase, or reject in adulthood. From the way love was shown or not shown to how conflict was handled, our early surroundings silently teached us what's normal, but what happens when the normal doesn't serve who you're trying to become. Opening up to healing, awareness, and unlearning the lessons that no longer align with your peace and growth. Okay, the environment you grew up in, it shapes what you accept as an adult, whether you realize it or not. You might think you're just being love, loyal, understanding, or patient, but in reality, you're repeating what you saw. Sometimes the hardest part of healing is realizing that what you call normal was actually survival. It's time to reprogram what you've allowed and now look at what you deserve. Okay? The environment you grew up in shapes what you accept as an adult. Now, this is I would say like a hard topic because you would never want your parents or your family to think like you did wrong with me. We can't even think like that because in actuality, you have to look at the way your parents were raised, you know what I'm saying? Like what was going on in their household at the time. Maybe now what we see is wrong could have been praised in their household. So your parents probably looked at it like, you know what, this is all I know. And look at me. So I'm going to do my kids like this. But that's why, like as a child, now being older and seeing things that I've never saw before, it's like you really can't even sit here and be mad at your parents and your family because you even have to look at the times. Back then, things were totally different. So, how now children are more encouraged to have a voice when back there it wasn't like, nah, don't tell me how you feel. This is what I said and this is what it's going to be. But it's just like for me, it's much deeper than that because when you see, I get it. This is how things have always been in the family and this and that. But, by doing things like this, like, yo, like I got trauma, okay? So when the time comes, if it aligns with God's plan, when I sit here, I have my family and everything. It's a lot of things that I would do, but in the same sense, it's a lot of things that I wouldn't. And it's no shame to my parents or my family. Absolutely not. It's kind of like I've accepted with all that you have learned, but I'm taking it upon myself to sit here and enforce the things that I've learned, and that's like okay. And speaking of traumas, it's kind of like I've been talking to y'all about in the last few episodes. Yes, your childhood environment, oh my gosh, like it does so much for you. Because if you're in a situation and you're unsure what to do, what's the first thing you're going to do? Oh, this is what I've always done. So it's okay. If it doesn't work out, that's cool too. No, you're in survival mode. No, if you're working on something and you really want that to work out, think about it differently. Maybe all that you have been doing, it's not good for you. Okay. It's okay to stop and restart. I'm not going to say had because I'm still going through it. I have a very hard time with that because you sit here and you think of the time, you sit here and you think of the history, and it's kind of like, if I sit here and start all over or start fresh, do you know like how long that's going to take? Of course, everything in life takes time. But you got to think about it. You don't know how the outcome is going to come. Even if, God forbid, it is a bad outcome and you're just like, wow, I just wasted time. No, anything that does not fully go through and you feel like it was a waste of time, I shouldn't have never did it. No. If it's not ending in a good light, I need y'all to sit here and look at it. Like if it didn't end, you still learned something. It's a lesson. Pay attention. The next time you come across something and it's not working out or it didn't work out, just take the time and sit here and pray about it and be like, okay, Lord, this didn't work out, but what were you trying to teach me in this? Because you have my plan anyway. You knew it wasn't going to work. So, like, what was I supposed to learn from this? And then look at that situation, look at all that hard work, look at everything that went in that, and then look at it. Like, you know what? I think maybe I've learned patience in this, or maybe my communication has gotten better through this, even though it didn't fully push through. It's okay. I learned something from it. And that, man, I'm telling you, like that whole environmental thing, I did not think that it played any part because you sit here and you're like, look, like I'm older. I don't even think like that. Take a look at yourself. You sure you don't think like that? Because look at it this way. If you no longer thought the way you did in the past, maybe things will be pushing through right now. Maybe things will be different. You can't sit here and try and make moves with the way you used to do things because it's not going to work out. Like, absolutely not. If ain't nobody gonna say it, I'm gonna say it. If you trying to change, you have to change entirely. There is no such thing as a temporary change. It don't work like that, okay? Mind you, I only talk about things that I've been through and I did the temporary change. That's why I changed my life and seriously doing this, seriously, my walk with Christ, because like the temporary fix, I've permanently stopped that. Like I used to drink, I did, I'm not saying like I abused it or whatever, but sometimes you would sit here and drink to get drunk. Oh, mind you, I be in my house, I don't be out. And I used to do that every time I felt some type of way. I'd be like, you know what? Let me pour me a cup and this and that. Yeah, that's nice. You have a temporary relief because it's like you're no longer thinking about that because you over there sitting in the corner drunk, living life, doing whatever. Nice. But what happens when that temporary phase leaves and now you are morally in a destruction state than where you were prior. So now I don't even do that. When things don't go according to plan, I'm not pouring me no drink. I'm about to sit here, get my Bible and pray about it. If it hurts, I need y'all to sit here and deal with that pain. If it hurts, take the time out and sit here and cry about it. It's okay, because holding all of that frustration and hurt in, holding things in are going to get you sick. Okay, you're going to get sick. So I know a lot of people talk about, oh no, you're just like so sensitive, you're always crying, it's always something. Duh, I'm not going to sit here and keep all of this within me. If I feel some type of way, I'm going to talk about it, because now it's up to me. If you sat here and express you feel some type of way, you're sad or whatever, now it's on you. Do you want to still stay in that state, or are you about to change and be a version of you that you've never seen before? If you're trying to heal, healing is hard, okay? And more than likely, with healing, since your mind and your body is going in a different direction, you're going to lose a lot of people, and that's okay. Because if they were meant to stay, they would come along. No, if you at this alone, it's okay. Take your little time out, enjoy your time with Christ, and I promise you, y'all just gonna be chilling. I mean, like when I say chilling, I mean chilling. Because I was in church this morning and it was so good. I want y'all to read First Samuel and Second Samuel. Okay? So good. But yeah, you have to change to be and to receive the things that you want. You're going to have to be someone different, because maybe the prior version of you wouldn't have been able to take care and push through like you can now. That's one thing. God is not going to allow and give you anything when he knows that you're not prepared for it. That's one thing I will say, but that could vary though. If you keep saying I got it, I got it, I got it. Sure, at one point God might be like, "You know what? It is what it is. Here. I already know how it's going to end, but go ahead. Maybe when this doesn't work out, then you'll really come back to me and trust me." And again, I speak about things that I've been through. I went through that. And I felt like God would tell me so many times, like, no, I said no. But I'm like, wait, God, you know what I'm saying? It could work this time. And at one point, he did that for me. He's just like, you know what? It is what it is. Do what you do. And I was like, oh, okay. And then everything was fine. And then out of nowhere, boom. And I was like, hey, I'm like so sorry. You were right. I'm just back now. That's why when you sit here and you decide to like firmly walk with Christ, you can't sit here and be like, Lord, you are my life. I'm following you. And then when the nightlight comes, it's like you out partying with the devil. It don't work like that. You can't serve two masters at one time. It doesn't work. I don't know why people think that that's okay. I don't know why I thought that was okay. Because it's kind of like, like I went to church. I go to Bible study, but like I'm kind of young. I would like to go out and just hang out with my friends. No, no. It's like trying to drive down the street. You can't be on the left and the right at the same time trying to go to the same destination. That don't work. What happens if you trying to drive in both lanes down the street? You're going to get in an accident. You have to sit here and learn. You know what? This is what I'm trying to do. And I know it's going to be storms for the rest of life. And it's okay. If this is my end goal, I need to cut everything out that is a distraction that's trying to put me in another lane when I know I do not deserve to be there. And it's hard. I'm telling ya. Like, I promise. Like, it's really hard, but it's worth it. That's why I don't want to take the environmental aspect of it as an excuse. It's not. I'm basically speaking on that in terms of if you know where you came from and you know where you're trying to go, at some point, keep that with you, just like I talked about in the prior episode. Like, with all of that baggage, like the heartbreak and this didn't work, that didn't work, these situations never push through. Don't forget about it. Keep that with you, but learn how to separate it. Like, this is where I was. You're coming along, but what I'm doing, you can't be here. But I would never want to forget all that I've been through. So it keeps me motivated and navigating to the path that I have here. Because if you slip up, you're going to go back there in 2.5 and you keep that with you so you can look at your growth. Like, at one point in my life, I would have never. Now look at me now. You know what I'm saying? And like I always tell y'all, like, I really just want all of us to win. But with winning comes with consistency and staying on track. I get it. You know what I'm saying? It's family out there, it's friends out there. And it's just like, but wait, we've been here together forever. Yeah, y'all been there together forever. And look where y'all at the same spot. You have to sit here and surround yourself around people that's on the same path as you. But I get it. It could probably be why I had stopped going to church for all of my prior years, because it made me feel like if we're in church and we're reading the Bible and we have scriptures and we have songs and everything, and you still acting and doing the way you do, it makes people feel like, what is church going to do for me if it hasn't done anything for you? You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of people have to be careful. Like, I don't want to sit here and act like I know everything. I don't. I'm literally still in my baby stage. That's why I'm taking little steps. I make it a priority every day after work to come home and get into my Bible and read certain things. So it could be more, because I would not want to come on here and say something that's incorrect. I wouldn't want to do that. I would never want to incorrectly speak on the Bible. But right now, that's just where I am in life. And I was talking to my friends over the weekend, and they were just like, hey, why don't you do this? Why don't you want to do that anymore? And I'm just like, no, it's not for me. I know where I'm going. And, unfortunately, it's kind of like, if this is where you are and you're not respecting my boundary of not being there anymore, I don't know what to tell you. This might be a end. Because you're not going to make me feel like I have to anything, because I do not want to. If I say no, it's no. And I'm telling you, with that healing process, a lot of people are going to get cut off, and it's okay. Stay according to plan. If it gets lonely, you better sit there and pray. You better open up your Bible, and yeah, like, everything's going to be okay. When you think about what the environment did to you and the little actions that you do have, when you sit here and you accept things and you're just like, you know what, I really don't. But if it makes you happy, sure. Don't do that. That's that survival mode, because you're putting yourself on the back burner to make sure other people around you are okay. And I get it. For me, I'm still growing. It's like that's a pro and con for me, because I wouldn't want to sit here and have it be seen as me being selfish. Like, I only care about what Gina wants, and what everybody else wants or how they feel. It doesn't matter. And I don't want to be like that, but I've heard certain things and they're just like, no, you have no choice but to be. I still thought that was selfish, but in all actuality, it's not. You are no longer putting you on the back burner. It's kind of like, this is how I'm coming. You can either come the same way, or you can respect and you can sit here and change to get to where I am. But I'm not accepting anything lower than this. And that's okay. It took me years. It took me years to figure that out. When you find you, I'm telling y'all, whatever season that is, I'm hoping that that's my season coming up. But whenever you find you, never lower yourself again, because it could take a good little minute. And yeah, when you find you, stick with that. I am literally like promoting everyone to sit here and get closer to Christ, get right with Christ, because, like I always tell ya, I've never felt so much peace. It's like I just feel so safe here. But yeah, y'all better take a look at what you've been through and understand the good and the bad parts of it, and learn how to navigate through life with it. Understand this is what it was, but I will not let this continue with me. At some point, I am breaking this. This is not going to go on with me. And we can always move past anything that was in our way, just as long as the end goal is to keep pushing and going forward. Don't get stuck because you're coming across something again. It's okay. Just look at it and be like, you know what? I got a different way how I'm gonna get past this. And that's all. That's all it is. But as always, I really hope that this episode helped someone out there. And I will speak to you guys next week.